Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Hey, let me check something out. I'm trying to... Oh, I see. That wasn't on the button. So there you go. Hit the subscribe button. Uh-oh, we're going to have some weird stuff going on here with these guys. Richard Watts and K-Me. Thank you. Must have heard something. Must have heard something over there. Yep. Okay, I was just going to go back through the... there's new information, but I'll just start over again in the Juan Sebastian... I don't know, Mejia Acevedo. Alright. But, you know, the other one that we stumbled upon last night when we were covering the cold case that was solved, the other one in Hawaii, I went and found a whole bunch of, like, the woman's story that lived and ran away. So, I think that'll be incredible. That story, to me, is very similar to the Delphi case. Abducted at gunpoint. There was two of them. One of them had a chance to leave, and in that case, they took it and ran. I mean, it's almost like, I mean, it's weird how similar it is. Not identical, but like very similar. All right. Thanks, Kami and Richard Watts. And yes, during the show, if you'd like to help support the channel too, that'd be great. Got the coffees, we got the super chats. Really kind of limping into the end of the month here. So if you have the ability to, that would be great. Alright, I'm just going to do these in order here from what I downloaded. So this is 2 days ago. An Amber Alert has been issued as police search for Juan Sebastian Acevedo. Acevedo is believed to have been abducted and in extreme danger, police said. According to the alert notice, Acevedo was abducted at 9 a.m. Friday and was last seen in the 200 block of Mica Avenue in Virginia Beach. That's part of a large apartment complex in the Kempsville area of the city, west of Holland Road and south of Interstate 264. Acevedo is described by police as 5'8", 105 pounds, Hispanic male with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing blue pants, red hoodie, and black shoes. He's believed to have been abducted by an unknown person. Virginia Beach police said Saturday, so that, you know, obviously, you know, you kind of wonder how they know if he was even abducted at that point. Right? Virginia Beach police said Saturday that officers were dispatched to Mica Avenue on Friday around 9 p.m. for a missing person report. So, I tried to look to see if there was scanner audio, but it's all EMS stuff. It's not really police. I mean, I guess it's possible they called the fire department also to come out, but for some reason they don't have Virginia Beach Police Department in there. While searching, officers said additional information led them to handle the case as an abduction. During the investigation, officers submitted an Amber Alert request to Virginia State Police shortly after 2 a.m. So it seems like at that point, I mean, Amber Alerts used to be where you'd have to have a car description, but I guess they've taken that away now because they don't have a vehicle description. Police are still investigating. Virginia State Police and Virginia Beach Police were at the Cambria at Cornerstone apartment complex Saturday, where a police dog was seen sniffing in the area, which is nestled between I-264 and South Independence Boulevard. A Wood Springs Suites Virginia Beach Hotel is also located nearby. Man, look at that. Hi, 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 hi. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. And then there's this, like a screenshot, and in a Facebook comment, people have posted that the parents didn't realize he was missing until last night. They thought he was at a friend's, but apparently never made it there. What is quite creepy is that there was a woman who posted a Facebook Live last night. She said that she was the boy's mother, who is a coworker. At one point in the video, they received a call from a man who claims to have taken him. The video ends abruptly. I checked her profile again a little bit ago, and the video has been deleted. So that's apparently a true situation there. Hey, thanks Linda Howe. Thanks Gray. Interesting case. Hit that like button, she said. Amber Alert issued for 12-year-old Virginia boy. We're just going to go back through these again.
Virginia State Police is still looking for 12-year-old Juan Acevedo, right there on your screen, out of Virginia Beach, who they say was abducted. Police say it happened yesterday morning at around 9. Officials say they don't know who took him, but believe that he is in, quote, extreme danger. He was last seen wearing blue pants, a red hoodie, and black shoes.
Inez Elliott took this picture standing by her mother at least one.
That's kind of a crazy story, though. I was looking at it after that. That girl right here is still alive, and that's like 100 years ago. I mean, like, it's ridiculous. Anyways, Virginia State Police and Virginia Missing Children Clearinghouse have issued an Amber Alert as part of the search for 12-year-old boy police say was abducted. Virginia Beach City Police say the boy was abducted January 24th, 2025 at about 9 a.m. Police say Juan Sebastian Acevedo was last reported seen in the 200 block of Mica Avenue, 5'8", 105 pounds. He had a red hoodie and black shoes and blue pants on. He has no scars or tattoos. And this is the flyer that's out there. So this is just 2 days ago. The child was abducted on January 24th, 2025 at approximately 9 o'clock. I mean, all the rest of this is just repeated information, but there he is right there. We are sharing in all pages that we follow, please. He is missing. January 24th, 2025, since 2 p.m. Last seen near Cambria at Cornerstone Apartments, VA Beach. I mean, we have all of the location marked out. Apparently, like, he lived in these apartments right here, and then The police had scent dogs over here, like this, so it makes you kind of think that they have the person with him, you know, like they could see him moving in a particular direction, away from Highway 264 maybe, but like over here like that. Hey, thanks Vicky White. No problem. Anonymous, this is, I mean, these are the kind of cases that I've done over the years. And then every once in a while, you know, there's a bigger case that we cover, but generally we just do these types over and over, you know, cold cases or kind of missing person. You know, sometimes they're not bigger, unfortunately. I mean, you know, people don't consider them bigger, so they don't watch. Like right now we have 104 people watching with 150,000 subs. You know, so it's a little frustrating. Let's see. So this is anonymous. It says, we went by and spoke with a police officer who told us he was missing, last seen at 2 p.m. So not that 9 in the morning. And he was seen on a Ring camera, but last time parents saw him was 9 a.m. So that means he was still out and about, hanging around. So maybe he stayed at 9 p.m. His parents saw him at home. They left, and he was supposed to go visit somebody. But then 5 hours later, he's still at home because he hasn't gone to go visit that person yet. And I was thinking maybe that he was catfished somehow, that somebody communicated with him and was going to pick him up. And I guess when they say he doesn't know the person, I mean, it could be something like, you know, he doesn't know him. Like Keegan Kline is not Anthony Schatz. Thanks, Vicky White. Suspect vehicle description. Basically because the kid just vanished. No suspect of vehicle, or, I think it means or vehicle description. Basically because the kid just vanished. Alright, then we have this one. Virginia Beach Police said Saturday that officers were dispatched to Mica Avenue at 9 p.m. While searching, officers said additional information led them to handle the case as an abduction. Yeah. So what was that? I mean, is that call that came into, you know, I guess there's an update that we haven't got to yet. During the investigation, officers submitted an Amber Alert request to Virginia State Police shortly after 2 a.m. State Police reviewed it before issuing an alert early Saturday morning. So here's where, you know, now there's different. Like, see, that ransom request might sort of correspond with this thing. What is quite creepy is that there was a woman who posted a Facebook Live last night. She said she was with the boy's mother, who was a coworker. At one point in the video, they received a call from a man who claims to have taken him. Alright, so then you look at this ransom request. So was that actually in that phone call, or was there another one received later? And is this actually somebody that abducted, or somebody, which we see happen not infrequently, where somebody's missing and then some person jumps in to try to get some kind of reward, I mean not a reward, a ransom, even though they're not the one that, or you know, or even responsible for them being missing. You like to hear them what? Oh, these types of cases. Yeah. Let's see what they say. I guess I gotta listen.
All right, well, right now, a massive search still underway for a 12-year-old boy from Virginia Beach. We have some new details about the investigation. Take a good look at this picture on your screen. This is Juan Mejia Acevedo. State police issued that Amber Alert for him Saturday morning, yesterday. Now, here's what we know so far. We're told he was last seen around 9 Friday morning on Mica Avenue. That's in the Kempsville area of Virginia Beach. His parents reported him missing when he didn't come home Friday night. While police were searching, they say the family took to Facebook Live asking friends and family for help in this search. But then they started getting ransom requests, leading authorities to treat this case as an abduction. So that's when Virginia Beach police say they requested the Amber Alert from state police. Authorities say.
Okay, so once they started getting ransom requests, that's why they. So that all kind of now it all comes together. Like, how did they know? So now that there's been ransom requests, they believe that he was abducted. And then they also put out an Amber Alert because he could be anywhere, and they wanted to give the last known description of him.
They are canvassing neighborhoods over in that area and using drones and bloodhounds to search for Juan. They are also checking local waterways, though they say this is not a recovery mission. Now, police say Juan was last seen wearing a gray jacket, blue pants, a red hoodie, and black shoes. And he has black hair and brown eyes. Authorities don't have a suspect description right now, but if you have any information about Juan's whereabouts, you are asked to call police immediately. And of course, we've been sharing this all over social media, so be sure to continue to share those posts.
All right. I'm putting the names for the wheel just in case we reach that goal up there. Not likely, but yeah, no, there we go.
Virginia Beach police say Dana Plummer faces these charges: 2 counts of aggravated malicious wounding, 3 counts of parental.
I guess that's some other story in there. All right, got that one.
We're learning more tonight after police say a 12-year-old was abducted in Virginia Beach yesterday morning. Brianna Fallon is live in Virginia Beach right now with the latest updates. How are things going, Brianna?
Yeah, so Madison, it's been over 24 hours since 12-year-old Juan Acevedo has been missing. And now police are saying that his parents received a ransom message on social media, which prompted the initial investigation. Now police tell us they're suspicious of the ransom request because it came after the family went public. Acevedo was last seen by his parents at 9 a.m. on Friday. His parents thought their son was at a friend's house. However, later that night when he did not return home, his parents contacted Virginia Beach police.
Seems like it's catfishing.
Today, Virginia Beach police say...
I mean, was the friend, when he said, oh, I'm going over to a friend's house, was there really a friend's house he was going to, or did he tell his parents that he was going over to a friend's house? And then there was somebody who catfished him, and he wanted to go do something with them, but they turned out to be a bad actor. That's what I mean, I think that's a possibility here.
They have deployed drones and
if you guys could please get some memberships for people, and if you can get the coffee, super chats, or whatever, we got to get moving. We're almost near the end of the month here, and trying to have some sort of semblance of a normal month. So if you guys can help support the channel, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
And helicopters to help find the missing child. They also say they added more patrol in the neighborhood. Authorities say they do believe this is not a recovery mission. However, out of an abundance of cautions, they deployed their Marine Patrol unit to search nearby lakes and ponds. We were able to speak with the Chief Communications Officer with the Virginia Beach Police Department, and they asked for one thing for people in the community.
This is really where the community comes in. If they've seen anything, if they know anything, any detail, no matter how seemingly insignificant, could really be of help to us right now.
Yeah, and according to police, Acevedo was last seen wearing a gray jacket, red hoodie, and blue pants.
Yeah, let's see. Juan was last seen by his parents in the 200 block. Yeah, that's at 9, but he was seen on camera at 2 p.m. Surveillance. Let's see what this one says.
Virginia State Police issued an Amber Alert for a 12-year-old boy they say was abducted in Virginia Beach Friday morning. Juan Sebastian Mejia Acevedo was abducted around 9 a.m. in the 200 block of Mica Avenue, according to troopers. Police described Acevedo as a Hispanic male, 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing 105 pounds. He also has black hair and brown eyes. The child was last seen wearing blue pants, a red hoodie, and black shoes. Officials say he is in, quote, extreme danger, and if you have information, call Virginia Beach Police.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible that it's people that ICE would remove from the country that are involved in this. Yeah. An Amber Alert has been issued for a 12-year-old boy police said was abducted in Virginia Beach Friday morning. Juan Sebastian Mejia Acevedo was abducted around 9 a.m. in the 200 block of Mica Avenue, according to officials with Virginia State Police. The child is believed to be in extreme danger. Police described Acevedo as Hispanic, 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing 105 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes, officials said. The child, who was last seen wearing blue pants and red hoodie and black shoes, is believed to have been abducted by an unknown person. Yeah, so I wonder why they say that, you know. How do they know it's an unknown person? I mean, he could have been communicating with somebody, but maybe they don't believe he knew the actual person. Like if he was catfish, you would say that. And this lady up here says, my former student from last year, we called him Juanito Dorito. Wow, that sounds like, called him Dorito, huh? Jeez, that sounds like cultural appropriation. You sound like almost racist. I mean, my God, you guys. Jesus. Because he was always eating the nacho Doritos. Of course, you had to put that in there, right? Explain why you said it. It's okay that you said it because you're a teacher, but if anybody else said, oh my God, you're... This is my biggest fear as an ESL teacher coming to life. If anyone sees my Juanito, please call the police and get him home safely to his family. Yeah. I was being sarcastic. I can tell you, though, if a Caucasian person had said that exact sentence, they would get crushed, okay? Absolutely crushed by saying that. But it's okay that she said it. Alright, do you guys have any theories on this one? Sounds like he's still on surveillance camera at 2 o'clock somewhere. They don't say where. I mean, the police should obviously do an update here. But they may be trying to track him down from those phone calls that came in. I mean, I bet you the FBI is involved now. Yeah, the Freedom Bandito commercials. I remember I sang it one time. I thought it was pretty fun, you know, like a funny kind of song. You know, you just sing it. You know, it has nobody thinks about anything, like, and then somebody goes, "Oh man, that song, it's so racist. Oh my God, and it's a freaking song, man. It sold Doritos, okay, or Fritos, I mean." All right, if you guys have any thoughts on this, I'm just going to move over to the other case. The Don Bustamante that we discussed as part of the case yesterday. It was just something that we were looking up, you know, that cold case that was solved, and then it mentioned this other case in this one article that we were reading. And so I looked at it. Remember, there was 2 girls that were 13 years old in Hawaii, and They were taken down, abducted, and then taken down a road, and then one of them lived and ran away, and the other one was shot and killed. I mean, it was very similar to the Delphi case. But I went out and found all this additional information on that one, because that actually was really interesting to me. It still isn't solved either. So I think that one, seems like that case should have other information. Unless he didn't assault them, he killed them, killed one to get away. Like he hadn't assaulted anybody yet. I guess we don't know. Are you guys here? I mean, it's just dead as a doornail again. I think I'm just going to start doing only incredibly popular cases. Like, look for the most popular case there could ever be. Then maybe people will chat, and man, it's just so deflating when there's no communication going on, and the whole thing, actually. Like, I actually think it's fun looking up the cases now, but coming on, oof, it's always just makes me nervous. Let's see, Vicky White said, I do Lisa LOL about 5 minutes ago. Anybody else here? I don't know if we're frozen or what's going on. Let me see. Testing. Yeah, maybe it's broken. I don't know. Am I still streaming right now? I don't know what's going on. Something strange happening with this. Let's see. I don't know. I can't see anything. Nothing's moving. I'm gonna have to try loading this up again. Let's see. Yeah, that was weird. Something froze up. Hey, thanks Lisa Valenzuela for the coffee. Alright. Yeah, I guess there's only been 15 comments since then, but right, everybody says, "Oh, I'm listening. Let's try to participate and like communicate." And thanks Lisa Valenzuela for the coffee. All right, here we go. So this is 2001. Believe it or not, there was no coverage that I could find of this abduction at the time. I mean, isn't that ridiculous? I mean, something like that has no coverage whatsoever. I'm gonna just get rid of my face on here. So, man's relative insists he did not kill a girl. So apparently this guy, somebody started looking into this person a while ago. Relatives of a man accused of killing a 13-year-old Kahlua girl while he was stationed here in the Marine Corps 26 years ago rallied to his defense yesterday, insisting police arrested an innocent man. An extradition hearing is scheduled today in an Indiana courtroom. So this guy lived in Indiana. To see whether Delmar Edmonds, and this happened in 1975, so they're looking into this guy in 2001, which is 26 years later. An extradition hearing is scheduled today in an Indiana courtroom to see whether Delmar Edmonds, and thanks Michelle H for getting that membership, will be ordered to return to Hawaii to face single count of murder in the shooting death of Don Didi Bustamante, whose body was found in an area behind the Pali Golf Course March 14th, 1975. Yeah, so we could just go back over to Hawaii over there. And see, this is that golf course, and this is where that weird road is. Right on this road, there's been like a ridiculous amount of deaths. They've actually closed it down. The Pali Golf Course. Alright, so let's just have that open there. Yep. Edmonds, 46, was arrested at his home Tuesday morning in Indianapolis and is being held on $500,000 bail at the Marion, Indiana County Jail while awaiting the extradition hearing. A woman reached at Edmonds' home yesterday, who identified herself as his wife, said she believes law enforcement officials got the wrong person. My heart goes out to the family in Hawaii of the girl that was killed, but my husband is innocent. He's a good man, said the woman, who declined to give her name, notice Kathy Allen never said that. Declined to give her name or say how long she has been married to Edmonds. I'm not in a position to provide any other information other than to say I support him 100%, the woman said. Investigators from the Honolulu Police Department and the Naval Criminal Investigative Service coordinated with the Indiana State Police to service an arrest warrant on Edmonds at his home. Bruce Warshawski, special agent with the Naval Criminal Investigative Unit, is among the law enforcement officials who traveled to Indiana to make the arrest. Warshawski declined to say whether DNA technology not available at the time of the crime will be significant in the investigation, but this is 2001, so DNA technology is like vastly better than it was back then. According to a police affidavit supporting the arrest warrant, Edmonds raped Bustamante before he shot her. After Warshawski was contacted by Honolulu detectives last year to begin the investigation afresh, new interviews were conducted, he said. Over that many years, relationships change, and some people who were his friends don't care about Edmonds so much now, he said. So just sort of give you a quick thing, like these girls were just going to a store, were abducted, taken out to the woods. I think he hit one over the head and was strangling, hit one over the head and then started strangling the other girl. And then the one that got hit over the head woke up, and then the one that was being strangled pretended she was knocked out, because I guess she was hit over the head too. And then the other girl woke up, and then he went over to her, and then she got up and ran away. And eventually she heard a gunshot, and the person killed her friend, And so she has a story to tell. I found that. All right. So hey guys, if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel, I would appreciate it. We just keep having these nights where we're just lingering and struggling. And I'm just not sure how many more we can do. It's just getting difficult. However, a young man who answered the telephone at his home and said he was Edmonds' son insisted Edmonds is innocent. He had nothing to do with this, said the man who would not give his name. He said Edmonds' truck driver, a truck driver has been a church deacon for 2.5 years and has no criminal past. Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? Indianapolis law enforcement records indicate no police contact with Edmonds. Warshawski said Edmonds is believed to have lived in Indianapolis since he left the Marine Corps in July of 1975. Meanwhile, Sherry MacArthur, Bustamante's younger sister, yesterday said she was shocked to see Edmonds on television after his arrest. MacArthur, who kept a sketch of the suspect on a refrigerator for 18 years, said her first thought was how much she hated the man. I found the sketch and my goodness, what a resemblance, just 26 years older. The Kahlua residents said, I just stared at him. MacArthur, 38, said she doesn't know how she'll feel when Edmonds makes his first appearance in court. I used to think about it, and now I realize there's nothing he could say to me that would change how I feel or what happened. She said, I don't know if I would say anything to him, but I would definitely look at his face. Don's father, Neil Bustamante, credited federal authorities and Honolulu police with their hard work that led to the arrest, but he said his two daughters, Sherry and Christy, made it their lifetime mission to find their sister's killer. My daughters are the ones who pursued this to a great degree, said Bustamante, vice president of golf operations at Monolani Resort on the Big Island. I think I played that. I went there one time. If credit is due for any type of follow-up, it was a goal that they had set up for themselves as children. Let's see. What is this story? Okay, so let's see what it says. The affidavit tells a story of murder and enduring secrets. It started with an email sent last year. A former Marine had information about a murder that bothered him for the last 26 years. It ended Saturday when another former Marine told police investigators that Delmar J. Edmonds had admitted killing a teenage girl in Kahlua in March of 1975. Both Marines were stationed in Hawaii along with Edmonds when 13-year-old Don Didi Bustamante was raped and killed on a deserted road near the Pali Golf Course. They said nothing to police at the time, nor did at least 3 other Marines who suspected that Edmonds had done something wrong. Interesting. Edmonds was arrested Tuesday in Indiana after a warrant was issued here charging him with Bustamante's murder. He is being held on $500,000 bail while Honolulu authorities arranged for his extradition. An extradition hearing is scheduled for today in Indianapolis. Edmonds' family members say he's innocent. Edmonds has been a suspect just days after the March 14, 1975 slaying, according to the affidavit by Honolulu Police Detective Larry Tamashiro to support the warrant for Edmonds' arrest. Edmonds was interviewed twice by detectives in 1975 and took part in a police lineup, but he denied any involvement in I think it goes up here, in the crime and was not charged. Whistle blown by email. The break for Honolulu police came when an email to the Honolulu Police Crime Stoppers Unit sent investigators to Las Vegas to interview its sender, Michael Ryback, who told them he had information about the killing, the affidavit said. Ryback told police he was with other Marines in their barracks in the Kanaohe the night of the killing when Edmonds arrived, according to the affidavit. If anyone asked, Ryback said, Edmonds told them that they should say he had been at the barracks all night. Ryback told investigators he never said anything about it because he feared retaliation, the affidavit said. His interview in May 2000 started a 14-month cross-country investigation. Police interviewed former Marines who, I mean, that's amazing that they were digging in so hard that many years later. Police interviewed former Marines who had served with Edmonds, pinning down details from friends and acquaintances who said the barracks had been full of rumors about Edmonds' possible connection to the Bustamante murder. Investigators traveled to Las Vegas, Corpus Christi, Texas, and Albany, New York. Good old-fashioned police work, Honolulu prosecutors say. Before getting down Saturday in Great Lakes, something like 3, with former Marine Steve T. Parker. Confessions made. According to the affidavit, Parker said he was a good friend of Edmonds, who was also known as Curly. One evening in March of 1975, Edmonds parked at another Marine, Tyrone Vaughn, were drinking. So it says, it says, one evening in March 1975, Edmonds, Parker, and another Marine, Tyrone Vaughn, were drinking beer at Edmonds' apartment. Edmonds left for a while, but returned and appeared very upset, the affidavit stated. Parker told investigators that Edmonds then told his two friends that a girl made me mad, so I shot her. He added that because she had stained his car with blood, he had to kill her. Not sure how that would have happened. Because they were in the woods. When Edmonds drove both men back to the barracks at Kaneohe Park, Parker saw women's clothing in the car. They concluded that Edmonds had killed Bustamante, that he was violent, and that they would simply stay out of the way, the affidavit said. Parker's testimony Saturday was enough for police who arrested Edmonds Tuesday. None of the men interviewed by police could be reached for comment yesterday. Investigators also interviewed the only witness, Bustamante, a 13-year-old friend, who also kidnapped and beaten before she escaped. Oh yeah, that's the other girl. So I think it's I'm not sure if they put the names there, but I think her name was shoot, I had it earlier. Her name will come up in a few minutes. The witness, who now lives in San Diego, gave them a stark account of the brutality that occurred. All of it included in the pages of the affidavit. The witness and Bustamante had been waiting at 8 p.m. for a ride along Cairo Avenue when they were ordered at gunpoint into a white Plymouth Valiant. They were driven to a secluded area near the intersection of Keonanola and Aula Road. Let me find that. So it's right there. God, it's on that same, basically that same road. It's crazy. So right there. On the darkened road, the driver forced Bustamante into the back seat and raped her, according to the affidavit. I guess that did happen in the car. That's from her story. Afterward, the man ordered both girls out of the car, walking them to the overgrown area, then struck Bustamante on the back of the head with his gun. Then he struck Bustamante's friend. As she lay on the ground, he began choking her until he saw Bustamante get up, that's what I was explaining, and start running. His decision to chase Bustamante gave her friend a chance to flee. As she ran, the girl heard a gunshot. The next day, according to affidavit, the witness gave police detectives a good description of the assailant, a slim man with military haircut. She identified his car as a white Valiant and said that he had a chrome gun with white hand grips, and he wore a yellow floppy hat. 3 days after the murder, on the same day of the autopsy, police interviewed Edmonds. How he became a suspect isn't stated in the affidavit. He denied any involvement in the incident. He said he had been at a party in Lanakai. The affidavit does not say whether any other Marines were interviewed. Police put Edmonds in a lineup, but Bustamante's friend said she was only 60% to 70% sure that he was the assailant. Investigators also showed her Edmonds' car, but she could not positively identify it either. According to the affidavit, Edmonds would only admit 3 things when he was arrested this week. He owned a silver .38 caliber handgun with a pearl grip. I mean, that's crazy, right? He once owned yellow floppy hat, and he had been in the area the night of the murder. Ah, Jesus. Sounds like Koberger and Richard Allen all locked up in one. Let's see. Okay, no healing for Dee Dee's mom. So this is a like the next day in the paper. July 20th, 2001. Marine Bustamante knows the look of a grieving mother. She has recognized it in the woman she has met in the at the store, and she's seen it in her own reflection for 26 years. The first decade after her daughter was killed, Bustamante used to catch the bus every day and stare at a picture of a missing woman named Diane Suzuki, 19, and Aya dance teacher who vanished in 1985 and whose case remains unsolved. Bustamante's heart ached for Suzuki and her family. The second decade brought Bustamante days too painful to watch the television news and better days when she discovered the joy of grandchildren. The 26th year has brought her back to the past, and she has waited for her daughter's suspected killer to be arrested. Delmar Edmonds, 46, is charged with the murder in the March 14, 1975 abduction, rape, and shooting of Dawn Dee Bustamante. Police arrested the former Kananohe Marine in Indiana this week, and his extradition hearing is scheduled for Tuesday. Marine Bustamante, 57, nicknamed Dee Dee herself, wants Edmund brought back to Hawaii to face trial, but she cannot bear to even look at his picture. She does not want to put a face to the crime that has haunted her for so long. Instead, she wants to remember her firstborn daughter and the child with an engaging personality who once couldn't play an angel in a school play because of a humorous incident that resulted in a black eye. She played a shepherd instead. She wants to recall the girl who entered adolescence with new braces and glasses and personality that delighted those around her. On the night of the killing, Dee Dee was kidnapped with another 13-year-old girl who escaped death. That woman, who now lives in San Diego, named her daughter Dee Dee. And after Dawn Bustamante, I think she named her kid Dawn, actually. I think there was a correction in some kind of a... Her daughter's early teenage years were not always easy on Marine Bustamante, but She'll remember those too. She was a little bit of a rebel, Bustamante said. We had some problems when she passed away. There was guilt as a parent, but I learned to forgive myself. The news this week is not just about a man who was arrested decades after a crime, she said. It's about a broken family. Let's see, what page is this? That's the next page. I think. Maybe it's the next one. That page 4. What is this? Page 3. Let's see. Marine Bustamante is divorced from Don's father, Neil. His name is Neil, Vice President of Golf Operations at Montalani Resort on the Big Island. What I'm feeling is universal, she said. What happened to Didi, what happened to our family is universal, but it also is deeply personal. As a way to never forget, Marine Bustamante's bedroom holds the future of her daughter's past. Didi chose the greenish gold desk, dresser, and bedside table when she was old enough to have her own room. Marine Bustamante lines the bookshelf with pictures of her grown daughter and one photograph that is familiar from newspaper clippings, that of her bespectacled Didi gazing at candles on cake during a family birthday party. All right, you guys, we're currently at 1/10 of a nightly goal. So is there a possibility you guys could help support the channel tonight? I mean, it really does help. It keeps me going. Plus, we got our month end is coming up here in 5 days, and we are just really, really going in the wrong direction. All right, it's going to be hard to do much. I know the economy isn't that great, but if you're out there and you're one of the people that can, that'd be fantastic, because the channel pretty much on these live stream relies on you guys, because there is no ad revenue to speak of. Maybe $5 when it's all said and done on the ad revenue on these live streams. All right, so if you can, I would appreciate it. We got the super chats or the coffees, etc. I don't know what else to tell you guys. You know. In a home filled with antiques and artwork, the furniture doesn't look out of place. It's something tangible to fill. The women's, this is just all about the house and everything. I want to get to the story with the, let's see, is this her on the 25th? Okay, now this is sort of interesting here. It says, Hawaii officials said Tuesday they would ask that a man be extradited from Indiana to stand trial in the murder of a teenager. Delmar Edmonds, 46, is charged in the shooting death of 13-year-old Don Bustamante, who was abducted in Kailua, Hawaii. At Edmonds' request, a judge Tuesday delayed his extradition hearing until August 28th so Hawaii can formally request his return. And let's see, this one is murder witness murdered. So this is kind of a weird. A key witness in the 1975 murder of a 13-year-old girl, in Kailua, was himself murdered 11 years later. But prosecutors believe they still have sufficient evidence to convict former Kaneohe Marine Delmar Edmonds of the murder of Don Bustamante. A police affidavit filed in connection with Edmonds' recent arrest says Tyrone Vaughn was one of 2 Marines who heard Edmonds say in 1975 that he had shot a female that night. Just a second. Let's see. Tyrone Vaughn was one of 2 Marines who heard Edmonds say in 1975 that he had shot a female that night because she had angered him and gotten blood in his car. Records show that Vaughn was shot to death in East St. Louis in 1986. That was 11 years later. The other Marine, Steve Parker, is expected to testify against Edmonds. Some legal experts believe the 26-year-old case may be hard to prove without an eyewitness to the killing or DNA evidence showing Edmonds was the man who assaulted Bustamante before she was killed. Deputy Prosecutor Ram Trader declined to discuss any additional evidence. Edmonds, who lives in Indianapolis, says he is innocent and is fighting extradition to Hawaii. An extradition hearing is scheduled for August. All right. So this is from, and by the way, I did find an article, I don't know where it is right now, but 2002 they dropped the charges against the guy. All right. But man, he sure sounds like the right guy. They didn't have enough. But anyways, I'm going to read, this is the, Sherry McCoy is the other woman, and she tells her story here. Actually, hold on, I think this is it right here. Oh yeah, there it is. Charges against Delmer Edmonds dismissed. It was a brutal crime. Let's see. Dressed in civilian clothes and carrying a briefcase, Delmer Edmonds was moments away from having murder charges against him dropped. For the first time in this case, the former Kanoe Marine accused of sexually assaulting and fatally shooting a girl 27 years ago entered the courtroom through the main doors. Last Friday, prosecutors announced a DNA sample from Edmonds did not match evidence recovered from the body. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, it makes you wonder if one of those other 2 Marines that tried to pin it on this guy, and if they have DNA, what are you guys doing with it? What if they just made that up? Prosecutors asked the judge to dismiss without prejudice. This means if authorities find new evidence, they could charge him again. Arnett asked the court to give authorities a maximum of 60 days to find additional evidence against her client, but the judge did not impose a time limit, saying the state should be allowed to investigate the case fully. Yep. All right, I gotta go use the restroom. I'll be back in a minute. And you guys. All right, anyways, nightmare still fresh 31 years later. Hey, thanks, Paulette, for the coffee. Woman speaks for first time in public on Windward murder. For 31 years, Sherry Vertigo McCoy has battled nightmares, emotional pain, and depression in anonymity, realizing all along that she could have been killed the night her best friend was murdered. Yesterday, McCoy spoke publicly for the first time about the 1975 murder of Don Didi Bustamante, a case that rocked. I mean, you know what's crazy about this? This just totally reminds me of the Delphi case. And it feels like, like this is what Libby or somebody or Abby would be saying later. I mean, it's so similar. It's crazy. Abducted at gunpoint, taken somewhere else, and just by sheer luck in this case. I mean, the thing is one of them could have left each other in the Abby and Libby case. They just didn't do it. Right? It's so similar, though. I mean, just listen to how similar this is. Yesterday, McCoy spoke publicly for the first, and both these girls were 13 years old, almost identical. Libby was 14, Libby was 14, Abby was 13. Yesterday, McCoy spoke publicly for the first time about the 1975 murder of Don Didi Bustamante, a case that rocked the Lanakai community some 3 decades ago and remains unsolved today. Bustamante was killed on a deserted road behind the Pali Golf Course in 1975. McCoy remembers the night vividly. She and Bustamante had been kidnapped at gunpoint in Lanakai and taken to a remote area behind the golf course. First, the attacker raped Bustamante before later knocking her out with the butt of his gun. He then hit McCoy and started to attack her. He had knelt down next to... What page are we on here? Okay, 2 more. See, it's got a whole thing in there. Okay, I think I have to go back. Let's see what happened. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. I guess I missed this part over here. He had knelt down next to me and had his hands around my neck, choking me, McCoy said. I think I was maybe 2 or 3 seconds away from passing out, from dying. I was praying and squeezing my thighs so hard I couldn't feel them anymore. At that precise moment, however, Bustamante regained consciousness and tried to run. To safety in the bushes or something. He let go of my neck and ran after her, McCoy said. I got up and ran the other way as fast as I could. And the thing is, it started like this, over here. Bustamante lived in this town, and McCoy was hanging out with her. See, isn't that weird how that's similar? I mean, it's like another similarity. It was Bustamante lived right here, and McCoy was spending, the evening with her. So then, they're only 13 years old, and then they walked over to the store here. This, we can even look at it. Looks just like this. I don't know if it was the exact same road in 1975, but there's a supermarket they were walking by. And when they're walking by, this car pulls up. Who cares, Newscrasher? My God, it's completely unrelated. All right, anyways, McCoy estimates she ran about 1/3 of a mile when she heard an unmistakable sound. So after she got up and ran herself, she heard a sound and she heard a gunshot, a single gunshot. And I thought to myself, oh my God, he's killed her or wounded her her worst fear would be confirmed within the hour. An eerie situation. It was Friday, March 14th, 1975, and McCoy was staying overnight. See, isn't that crazy? Just like Abby, staying overnight at Libby's house. Right? Was staying overnight at Bustamante's house in Lanikai. It was about 8 p.m., a beautiful tropical night, and the two girls were walking to Kalapawai Market. They were hoping to meet up with friends when a late 1960s Plymouth Valiant, headed in the other direction, slowed as it passed the girls. Dee Dee said she thought the guy driving the car was a friend of her mother's. So Dee Dee said she thought, that's Bustamante, she thought the guy driving the car was a friend of her mother's and went across the street to talk to him. Thanks, Kami. When she realized it wasn't her mother's friend, she came back to the side of the street where I was waiting. So she goes over there, and then she came back. The two girls resumed walking towards the market, and the car continued towards Lanikai. A few moments later, the driver turned around and pulled onto the shoulder to talk to the girls. We were between the Lanikai boat ramp and what used to be Camp Kalani. I wonder if that's like the boat ramp. So they might have been walking. Oh yeah, like maybe it's right here. There you go. I bet you it's right in this area. See, there's a boat ramp, and they were just walking. They were just going. They were heading towards the market, but that's not where they were abducted at. So I bet it's right here. Let's see what it looked like in 19. Yeah, they don't. Doesn't go back far enough. Yeah, so I bet it's right there. We were between the Lanikai boat ramp and what used to be the camp. Yeah, so it might be like somewhere just right around in here, something like that. I don't know, we'll just put something there. We were between the Lanikai boat ramp and what used to be Camp Kalani, McCoy said. Dee Dee walked up to the car and looked in, and the driver asked us where we were going. The way he was looking at us made my intuition kick in, and I thought to myself, this is eerie. The man tried to strike up a conversation, she said. He asked if the girls needed a ride. They said no. The next thing I know, he pointed a gun at us, telling us to get in his car. You know, just like Richard Allen pulls out a gun, orders the girls down the hill. My first reaction was to say something like, "You've got to be joking." I could see Libby saying something like that. Her reaction angered the man, who threatened to kill them if they didn't get into the car. You know, so that's just that's exactly what these guys do. You know, down the hill at gunpoint, and then, you know, you don't want to make him angry because he might shoot you. I thought about running, McCoy said, but he seemed to figure out that was my plan, and he got very, very angry. In that situation, you're young and you're shocked, and from that moment on, it's surreal. See? I mean, just listen to this, you guys. This is like the story that everybody should read so that you know what Abby and Libby went through. Look at that. I thought about running, McCoy said, but he seemed to figure out that was my plan, and he got very, very angry. In that situation, you're young and you're shocked, and from that moment on, it's surreal, right? Isn't that just absolutely it? McCoy got into the back seat on the passenger side. Bustamante got into the front passenger seat. let's see, Bustamante got into the front passenger seat. And then McCoy got into the back seat on the passenger side. That makes sense. You know, he pulls over, he's looking through the passenger window, get in, you know, so one gets in, Bustamante got into the front seat passenger side, and the other one, who's on, you know, was outside on the same side, got in the back seat passenger, or yeah, passenger side. Not behind the driver. Yeah, so McCoy got in the back seat on the passenger side. Bustamante got in the front passenger seat. The driver took off, passing the market and continuing along the Cairo Avenue. He turned left onto... Oh, I guess we could try to do that. Let's see. Driver took off, passing the market. So he actually passed this market here. And continuing along, yep, that's this street here, Cairo Avenue. He turned left on Macapu Boulevard. Let's see, where's that? Right, is that it? No, so it's way up here. Wow, so that means he went way over. And so he turned right there. Huh, that's crazy. So he drove all the way like that. And he went this way. Alright, so Macapu Boulevard, turned left again on Quarry Road. Where's Quarry Road? Ah, Jesus, you gotta be kidding me. Quarry Road and then right on, okay, Quarry Road. How come there isn't one there? Jesus, it's ridiculous. Well, there's Quarry Road right there. Wow, so right there. Crazy. It's not called Quarry Road, though. I mean, it's part of the name. Quarry Road, and then right onto Kalinani, or whatever the hell it's called. Let's see. So down here. I mean, you're getting close to here, you know. Let me type that in. Kalaniana Road. Okay, so it's probably this highway or something. I guess it's right there. This thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But I mean, if you're on that road, how did you get onto that? Quarry Road and then right onto that highway at the old Kahlua Drive-In Theater. Now there's the quarry right there. Is that it right there? That's it. Yeah, because it's over here. It must be driving around and then across like that. Thanks, Michelle H. So does it just keep driving on this crazy? I don't know. I'll just leave it there for now. I'll try to figure it out later. Okay, so anyways, the driver took off, passing the market and continuing along Kalahio Avenue. He turned left on Makapu Boulevard, turning left again on Quarry Road, and then right onto Kalanani Old Highway at the old Kahlua Drive-In Theater. We were saying things like, "Why are you doing this? We don't even know you. Why don't you just let us go?" He just raised the gun and pointed at us again, and I thought, okay, he means business. They continued on Kalanani Old Highway through Castle Junction to where the road changes to Poly Highway. Just past Castle Junction, the driver veered onto Kianola Road. I started praying, McCoy said. I was a good Catholic girl. Please, dear Lord, just let me get out of this mess. We ended up below the polytunnels. It's all rainforest there, dark, deserted, no lights. I remember thinking, okay, this is it. This guy is taking us to the remote area. I'm going to die tonight. McCoy said the driver backed his car into a cul-de-sac, ordered the girls out, then ordered Bustamante to get in the back seat and McCoy to get in the front seat. He assaulted her while I sat in the front seat. So he assaulted Bustamante in the back seat. So that matches what he told his... but the DNA didn't match. That's interesting. I mean, those people... obviously, somebody knew something. Because that... I don't even think this was even in the papers. Or at least, you know what? You can't find the papers. It was probably there, but there's no... Those years are gone. Just then a car came down Kianola Road from the other direction. And the driver holding them captive got nervous and started the car, McCoy said. Hey, thanks, Cheryl. She believes a group of young people in the other car had intended to park in the same spot and party. Eventually, the other car went on its way, and the man holding the two girls turned off his car. He ordered them out and to walk into the bushes. She led the way, and I was right behind her, McCoy said. He told us, "You can stop now," and I remember thinking to myself, oh God, now he's going to kill us. I mean, see, this is just the same crap that Abby and Libby were probably feeling. I mean, look at this. He had him walk down a trail. The kidnapper hit Bustamante in the head with the gun, knocking her to the ground, McCoy said. When he did the same to McCoy, she pretended to lose consciousness, hoping he would leave. Instead, he knelt down next to me McCoy, placed the gun next to my head and started to strangle me, McCoy said. But by the grace of God, at the point I was seconds away from dying, Dee became conscious again, looked over and started running. He looked over to where she was standing, cursed at her, and started running after her. I took 3 deep breaths and ran back to the Poly Highway the way we had come in. A few minutes later, she heard the shots and realized the ordeal wasn't over. I heard the car coming back down the road towards me. I went as deep into the bushes as I could go and waited for the car to go past. It did, and I had to choose what to do. Do I run back up the hill and try to help Dee, or do I go back down the hill and get help? McCoy remembers being totally disoriented and sliding down a hill toward a light at what turned out to be the parking lot at the Pali golf course. There, she said, she asked an older man who was caretaker to use the phone. My hair was a mess, my clothes were torn and bloody, and my face was bruised, McCoy said, but he brought me in, sat me down, and gave me a glass of guava juice. The first call McCoy made was to Bustamante's father. The second was to police, who took her back to the cul-de-sac where the 2 girls had been ordered out of the car and into the bushes. I was scared, but more than that, I was hoping they would find her, McCoy said. I was hopeful she was still alive. Those hopes ended soon after she heard one of the police officers shout, "Here she is." McCoy was taken to the Canoli police station and questioned until about 5 a.m. the following morning. It would be years before any charges were filed in the case. In July of 2001, following a cold case investigation by the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, Delmar Edmonds, Indianapolis, who was assigned to the Canola Marine Corps air station at the time Bustamante was killed, was charged with murder. After spending nearly a year in jail awaiting trial, the charges against Edmonds were dropped in September of 2002 after a private lab in Louisiana concluded that a DNA specimen taken from Bustamante's body could not link Edmonds to the crime. Edmonds has steadfastly maintained that he did not kill the girl. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty crazy. I mean, you sort of wonder, though, if those other 2 people pinned it on him. Because how did they know that stuff? I mean, they seem to know stuff that only the killer would know when they were talking to police. Yep. Well, you guys, that's all I got for you tonight. I mean, if you want to do the newspapers.com game to get us going, get something going tonight, we could do that. But if not, we'll just chalk it up as the worst night in 5 years. Right? Because that's where we're at currently. I mean, you'd think these stories would be interesting for people. But they're just not, you know. Get 160 people watching, 150,000 subs, and can't even get 1%. Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was an interesting story because it matched it feels like it's very similar to Delphi and how they would have been and how they would have felt. Exactly the same. All right, you guys, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks to Richard Watts, Kami, Linda Howell, Vicky White, Michelle H. gifted a membership. Then we had Kami, Michelle H. and Cheryl. And then we had 2 coffees, Paulette and Lisa Valenzuela. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you guys later. Be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.